It's Kiss FM. Cole Sprouse, Haley Lou Richardson. Hey, guys, how are you?
What's up, bud?
Hi.
Nice to see Cole, nice to see you. Haley Lou, nice to meet you.
How
Nice
are you?
to. What am I? Yeah, I feel like I don't know how to do things.
Oh, this is. Hi, I'm Ryan. Sissany.
I'm liking the facial hair, Ryan.
Oh, you really?
Yeah,
Thanks,
it looks
man.
good, man.
I appreciate
As someone
that.
who cannot grow facial hair, I really admire that facial hair.
My husband can't grow facial hair, so
How old is your husband?
he's 32.
All right, so I got a couple years.
My boyfriend, he can't either. It looks like a little
Yeah, it's like
rodent
patchy.
thing.
Well, how
Yeah.
old's your boyfriend? Is it your boyfriend or fiance?
He's my fiance.
Yeah. How
But
old is your fiance?
He just turned 29, so he should be able to by now.
Listen.
Hey, let's not impress masculinity on your boyfriend, okay?
Yeah.
Come on.
But thanks. Guys, great to see you. Cole, I just want to start by saying I know it's been a rough last couple of days for everybody on your cast of Riverdale.
for
As
all
you
of
know, I work with Kelly
Of
Ripa,
course.
who's married to Mark. And I know it's just been, I'm sure, incredibly difficult to be out doing press while that's happening too.
Yeah, it's been a little strange for all of us. We had a nice little get together, all of us over at Mark's, and celebrated his life. He's definitely the kind of guy that would have preferred us laughing and telling great stories about him, though.
Talking about
Yeah.
Luke Perry.
But he is, I mean, he was one of those guys that no one had a single bad thing to ever say about him, which is an incredibly rare thing in this industry.
Mhm.
But, you know, his family's asked me to respect the privacy at this time. So.
Yeah, of course. No, I get it. And I know that Mark is like a dad to you guys.
Of course.
Right? Like he plays a dad, but he's also like a dad to all you guys on the cast.
Of course.
So Cole and Haley, I got to get to know Haley Lou a little bit.
I'm Haley Lou. Hi.
Haley Lou. So you guys are in this movie together, and you mentioned your fiance. Now, I was reading an article about you where they said you proposed to him.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I did do that.
Where was it?
It was at this strip mall, outdoor strip mall by our house, and he was eating pizza and explaining this joke that Shia LaBeouf had made in an interview. And for some reason, that got me in the mood to ask him to marry me.
Just
And
explaining humor.
he was just like, Shia LaBeouf does this really weird interview. You can watch it. It's really weird. He's a bizarre guy. Really talented, though. He's like, does this interview, and in the middle of the interview, randomly, he goes, blowing weird
Like air
kisses.
kisses.
It's really weird. Anyway,
So Brett blowing you air kisses
Brett was
compelled
explaining.
you.
Yeah, he was explaining that, and then I just cut him off, and I was like, "Do you want to marry me?"
And that was it.
And then he laughed because he thought I was kidding, and then I was like, "No, but really though." And then we started crying, and it was the best moment of my life. And he said yes, and
Oh
then
my
we
goodness.
tied twigs around our ring fingers, and
Wow.
and now we're engaged.
So 5 feet apart, you guys are starring in this movie that's come from a book, and it is. I mean, it's going to shed a lot of light on CF, on cystic fibrosis.
Yeah.
What was it that struck you about this that that compelled you to want to be in it?
Well, firstly, the script was great, but it's a really sensitive topic to be able to deal with in film and television. I mean, the nature of the production cycle is romanticizing in general, and there's this danger, and it can be quite incendiary to do a disservice to a community. So really, the first screening process was just meeting with Justin, our director, and ensuring that he had the same kind of mission statement that I did as an actor, which is, let's do this as much justice as possible and bring a ton of awareness to a really underrepresented disease. And Justin was of a similar mind, and it sort of worked out.
But your characters also have a sense of humor about it.
True, and that's actually the nature of a lot of patients with cystic fibrosis is their mortality is something that they've experienced since they were babies, because
Wow.
you're born with it. So there is this sort of dark humor to it, but a kind of necessity to find that levity in those situations.
And Haley, when did you two of you meet, and who signed on first, and how that chemistry? How was it born?
Cole was officially signed on first, but I've known Justin for a while now. He's a buddy. So I've heard him for the last couple of years, talking about wanting to make this movie, and he's like, "When I get it made, you're gonna star in it." And I always I rolled my eyes. I was like, "Good luck getting it made, first of all, and second of all, like if it actually happens, like who's gonna hire me?" That's how I felt at the time.
Yeah, me too.
But then it actually happened, and when Cole and I both signed on, we'd never met each other. Like we didn't do any chemistry reads or anything.
Oh, there wasn't like we always.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
think there's these big tests where you've got to
Well,
go
there
on.
There are sometimes, and they suck.
Because they're pressured situations.
Yes,
yeah, I
and-
mean, they're never really a
They're like-
great indication of chemistry because they're sort of like
They're forced.
And you can be
Yeah.
a good test taker, but you might not be actually smart.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And auditions are, good metaphor, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I didn't go to college. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, like I really suck at auditions. It's an awful process.
I think it is really one of the only part of the production cycle that is pure chance. Truly, or at least the pre-production cycle, is that you sort of hope that the acting methods line up and two people can get along throughout the process, and that chemistry, which is so important for romance just generally as a genre, is one of those things you kind of just roll the dice on and hope that it ends up okay. And we got along right away.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
She rolled her eyes. We'll come back with Cole and Haley Lou. Hang on one second. It's Kiss FM. We've got Cole Sprouse and Haley Lou Richardson in the studio, starring in 5 Feet Apart.
You guys are goofy.
Oh, yeah, big time. Well, she is.
I love your energy.
Yeah, I have to balance her out sometimes.
No, Cole's pretty goofy.
Who's goofier?
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
For sure.
Cole's sarcastic.
Cole's
Yeah.
like that, like cool goofy. The like
Cerebral
says
goofy.
big words. Yeah,
Yeah.
with his brain.
Cerebral
With his
goofy.
brain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that separate Instagram
You're
account.
CG. That's what you are. CG.
Yes.
Cerebral Goofy.
That Instagram account that you have is so funny.
Oh, the camera duels one.
Yes.
Yeah, it was that was inspired by rage.
Oh.
So it's you taking pictures of people taking pictures of you?
Yeah, and I'm sure you get it. Sometimes people, you're eating, you got a mouthful of like pad thai or something, and someone's trying to sneak a photo of you.
I think they're videotaping actually sometimes, and that is
even better.
But then I slurp and I just
just lean in.
I really go for it with my hands. I
Yeah.
do really fun stuff.
Yeah, lean in. Right.
What's-
Well, this is me leaning in. This is in the same kind of way where you're making the dynamic yours again. I just put them on full blast. Just put them on full blast to hordes of hungry Instagrammers.
5 million.
I love it. I know. The fact that you have 5 million followers
Your
on
other
that
account has 5 million.
It's become
You're
quite
annoying. Like random pictures of other people taking pictures of you because you're famous has 5 million.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
This is the world we live in,
Business,
guys.
baby.
Business.
No, just you wait, Haley. You're gonna get all the weird ones after this movie comes out. Pictures of your feet are gonna circulate on
Oh,
the
I
internet
do
like
have a wiki feet.
wildfire.
That
I
weird
do have
feet
a wiki
website.
feet page.
That's good.
Yes, that was one of the first things I found. I did this like one indie film. No one ever saw it. No one's ever going to see it. But that was the thing when I got the wiki feet.
Yes.
And I have long finger toes, so it's weird. It's cool.
How
Yeah.
are your feet rated?
I don't. There's ratings on there.
Oh, big time, dude.
Oh, I didn't do that much investigating, but
Big time.
We'll have to do a deep dive.
yeah.
Mine are a 4 out of 5. Which you gotta wonder what
Why-
that extra
why-
star is.
Well,
missing.
I'm also a dancer, so I have like weird blisters and like bunions and
That makes you likable.
That's the good stuff.
Okay.
That's what they're looking for.
That's the good stuff.
So this the movie is out, by the way, in theaters on Friday. 5 Feet Apart. What do you think people when you go to the movies and people they're walking down the corridor right before they get to the concession lobby and they're talking to each other and they're saying something about the movie? What do you think people will say to each other still in that dark light before they get out to the concession lobby after they see it?
Great question, man. We've seen some of the control groups and we went to some of the early screenings and there are lots of tears. It's pretty somber. But the ending, without spoiling too much, is also quite hopeful. It's an interpretive sort of ending. So it's conflicted. I think people are going to be quite conflicted by the ending. But it's definitely a tearjerker, so bring some tissues.
Haley Lou, what'd you feel after you watched it?
Well, I'm watching it from a different perspective. You know, I
Mhm.
have these like selfish, judgmental things
Look
going
at the
on
way
as
I did
well.
this. Look at that look.
Yeah, look at my
this
double
edit,
chin.
They took that
Yeah,
take.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. But I mean, I always find it interesting when I watch myself and I forget about me, even for like a second or a couple scenes or whatever, and I can like get into it. And I think that I cried a couple times the first time I watched this movie, which I think is a good sign. I just think it's that impactful, and it just really makes you step outside your own life and watch these people and this very real situation that they're in, and leave kind of re-inspired about life.
Well, you guys are great in these roles. Congratulations on this movie, 5 Feet Apart. It's in theaters at the end of the week on Friday. Great to see you again, Cole. Hey,
Great
Lulu,
to
nice
see
to
ya.
meet you.
Nice to meet you. You're
Thanks
cool.
For coming.
Thanks for the stamp of approval, and I'll keep the
I
keep
know
the
it
hair.
probably
Yeah,
means
dude.
a lot coming from me. So
No, it does.
Keep growing that beard, man.
It's on, man.
I want to see it.
I won't trim till the movie's open.
Oh yeah.
We're back
Me
in just
neither.
a second.